The Ukrainian Air Force recently announced that an F-16 fighter jet achieved an unprecedented feat by shooting down 6 Russian cruise missiles during a single mission. According to Yuri Ignat, head of the Air Force's Public Relations Department, even American military officials were astonished by this record-breaking performance. The operation occurred on December 13, 2024, amidst a large-scale Russian airstrike targeting Ukraine. Russian forces deployed nearly 200 drones and 94 air, sea, and land-launched cruise missiles, including advanced Kinzhal hypersonic and Iskander ballistic missiles. This was Russia's largest missile and drone attack since the invasion began in 2022. Using just 4 air-to-air missiles, the Ukrainian pilot intercepted and destroyed 6 incoming missiles, preventing significant damage to Kyiv and setting a world record for the F-16's capabilities in modern aerial warfare. On a freezing morning, Ukrainian air defense radars detected a wave of incoming threats. In response, an F-16 pilot, guided by Air Defense Command, was scrambled to intercept Russian cruise missiles targeting urban areas. Unaware he was about to set a world record, the pilot embarked on a mission that would later mark a milestone in aerial warfare. Referred to as Goloro for confidentiality, the pilot recounted following guidance to engage a group of 8 cruise missiles. Upon approaching firing range, Goloro discovered that the missiles were equipped with advanced electronic jamming systems known as individual protective electronic warfare devices, which complicated the task of locking onto the targets. Goloro noted that the F-16's fire control radar was powerful enough to regain a lock by moving closer to the targets. He launched 2 medium-range air-to-air missiles, destroying 2 cruise missiles in quick succession. Adjusting his flight path, he locked onto another pair of missiles and successfully destroyed them with his remaining medium-range missiles at a range of less than 4 kilometers. At this point, Goloro faced a significant challenge. His F-16 was out of ammunition. Following instructions from the guidance officer, he began retreating to the patrol zone to allow a Su-27 to take over. However, as he left the designated flight path, Goloro spotted another missile heading toward Kyiv, passing alarmingly close to his cockpit. Without hesitation, he descended and began searching for the cruise missile. Initially, it appeared to have vanished, but upon climbing to a higher altitude and activating his radar, he detected a faint signal. Locking onto the missile's location, Goloro immediately gave chase, determined to neutralize the threat. Initially, Goloro believed the missile might have self-destructed or detonated again. However, further analysis of radar data and onboard footage revealed that one of his strafing runs had destroyed not 1, but 2 Russian cruise missiles. This unexpected outcome meant that Goloro, during a single air defense mission, had successfully shot down 6 cruise missiles, a new record for the F-16. Remarkably, 2 of these were taken down using the aircraft's cannon. Upon returning to base, Goloro was met with cheers and applause from his comrades. His extraordinary achievement quickly reached the United States, where officials expressed both astonishment and admiration for his performance. Now, why is shooting down a few cruise missiles such a big deal? The answer lies in the nature of the attack. Russia's airstrike targeted critical energy infrastructure, power plants, substations, and transmission facilities, rather than military assets. In December, when Ukraine's average temperature is well below freezing, losing access to power and heating could lead to widespread suffering and even fatalities. This deliberate targeting of civilian infrastructure underscores a calculated effort by Russia to cripple Ukraine's energy supply, incite unrest, and turn the population against its government. The significance of intercepting these missiles goes beyond military success. It directly impacted Ukraine's ability to sustain its civilian infrastructure in the face of a calculated, devastating assault. According to Ukraine's energy operator DTEK, the December 13th airstrike caused significant damage to thermal power plants, severely disrupting Ukraine's power and heating supply. Following the attack, widespread electricity shortages forced authorities to implement rolling blackouts to manage the grid. These calculated strikes aimed at civilian infrastructure highlight a ruthless strategy by the Russian military to deepen Ukraine's internal crisis during winter, revealing a stark contrast to the earlier, polite little green men approach of the Crimea crisis. After over 1,000 days of war, Russia's military has shed any pretense of concern for civilian lives. The presence of electronic warfare systems during the attack identifies the missiles as Kh-101 air-launched cruise missiles. These missiles, measuring 7.45 meters in length and weighing 2.3 tons, carry a 400-kilogram high-explosive warhead, capable of speeds up to 0.9 Mach and cruising at approximately 0.75 Mach. The Kh-101 is only slightly faster than a commercial airliner. Notable for its advanced design, the Kh-101 employs a navigation system combining inertial guidance with terrain contour matching, akin to the US Tomahawk missile. It also integrates optical and infrared imaging for terminal guidance, achieving a circular error probability, CEP, of 6 to 10 meters, making it highly accurate and resistant to jamming. As one of Russia's most advanced and expensive cruise missiles, each Kh-101 costs approximately $1 million. This combination of precision and costliness underscores its role as a central weapon in Russia's arsenal. Another notable feature of the Kh-101 is its diamond-like shape, resembling the US Air Force's AGM-153 missile. This design offers some stealth capabilities. However, unlike the AGM-158, the Kh-101's turbofan engine is mounted externally on its body. This configuration, while peculiar, compromises the missile's stealth effectiveness as it increases radar visibility. During the Russia-Ukraine war, the Kh-101 underwent several modifications. At the end of 2023, videos revealed that the missile could release flares during low-altitude flights to evade Ukrainian air defenses. While flares and chaff are common countermeasures on aircraft, their use on cruise missiles is rare. The Kh-101 appears to deploy flares automatically when nearing a target at low altitude, aiming to disrupt infrared-guided surface-to-air missiles like the Stinger. In early 2024, intelligence reports indicated that the Kh-101 had been equipped with electronic countermeasure systems to disrupt radar lock-ons. However, this system proved unreliable, as an F-16 operating that day successfully locked onto and destroyed the missile despite facing interference. This underscores the strength of the F-16's radar and avionics, which are arguably more critical to Ukraine's air defense than its NATO-standard weapons. Ukraine's F-16s, even equipped with the older ANA PG-66V2 radar, significantly outperform the country's existing radar systems. Pilots report that the F-16's fire control radar is powerful enough to ensure a near-guaranteed lock-on, even under electronic jamming. While the APG-66 may not rival cutting-edge radars, it is more than sufficient for Ukraine's current air defense needs. The use of an aircraft's cannon to shoot down a missile is a remarkable and risky maneuver. Ukrainian pilots trained in the United States were taught this technique, but it had never been attempted in combat due to the extreme dangers involved. John Venable, a retired US Air Force colonel and former Thunderbirds commander, emphasized that such a maneuver requires precision and timing. If the pilot is too far, hitting the target becomes nearly impossible. If too close, the explosion could send fragments into the fighter jet's engine intake, potentially destroying the aircraft and endangering the pilot's life. This brings to mind the first recorded loss of an F-16 over Ukrainian airspace. In early August 2024, the first batch of F-16s arrived in Ukraine, but by August 26th, one of these jets crashed, killing pilot Oleksiy Mes. The cause of the crash remains unclear. Some speculate that the Ukrainian pilots' accelerated 9-month training program in the US, far shorter than the standard 3 years, might have left them underprepared. Others question whether the F-16 is fully compatible with Ukraine's operational environment. Before the war, Ukrainian pilots primarily flew MiG-29s and Su-27s, Soviet-era fighters renowned for their maneuverability and speed. However, these aircraft lag significantly in avionics and employ hydraulic mechanical flight control systems, unlike the modern fly-by-wire systems on the F-16. Hydraulic systems provide direct feedback on control surface loads, offering a linear, tactile response, which many pilots are accustomed to. In contrast, the F-16's fly-by-wire system lacks such feedback, requiring pilots to adapt to a fundamentally different control experience. The F-16's fly-by-wire control system, featuring a short stick with no force feedback, presents a stark contrast to the hydraulic systems of Soviet aircraft like the MiG-29 and Su-27, often nicknamed airborne gym machines due to their demanding physical controls. While the transition to the F-16's modern control system may have caused initial difficulties, it is unlikely to have contributed to the first F-16 loss in Ukraine in 2024. Ukrainian pilots, though trained in an accelerated 9-month program, were still adequately prepared to operate the aircraft. As the saying goes, even a used Cadillac remains a Cadillac, far superior to a Soviet-era Lada. Other explanations for the crash include a possible Russian interception, though this is unlikely given Ukraine's defensive use of F-16s. The aircraft primarily fill gaps in ground-based air defense and occasionally deploy air-to-surface weapons, such as Storm Shadow missiles. Operating deep in Russian-controlled airspace is improbable. Another plausible cause is friendly fire, as incidents of Allied air defenses mistakenly targeting their own aircraft, like with Patriot missile systems, have occurred before. The most likely cause, however, appears to be debris from an intercepted cruise missile. On the night of the crash, the F-16 squadron intercepted 4 cruise missiles, demonstrating exceptional efficiency. Yet, fragments from an exploded missile may have been sucked into the jet's engine, causing it to disintegrate mid-air and leaving the pilot unable to eject. Ukrainian sources report that similar incidents involving debris caused the loss of 4 jets earlier in the war. This analysis underscores Ukraine's persistent challenges in its air defense network. The lack of identification friend or foe (IFF) systems, due to shared aircraft models with Russia, adds further complications, increasing the risk of misidentification. As a result, Ukraine's air defenses remain vulnerable, necessitating measures like using cannons to intercept cruise missiles, a tactic that may continue to occur. The broader implications reflect the evolving nature of modern warfare. The prevalence of drones, cruise missiles, and loitering munitions has reshaped air combat, revealing the limits of even advanced air defense systems. Neither Ukraine nor Russia has been able to fully neutralize the threat of airstrikes in this medium-intensity conflict. Until a more robust defense infrastructure is in place, Ukraine's airspace remains inadequately protected, particularly as Russian forces increasingly target non-military infrastructure. Witness the unprecedented achievement of a Ukrainian F-16 fighter pilot who destroyed 6 advanced Russian cruise missiles in a single mission. From incredible precision to the intense challenges of modern aerial warfare, this video uncovers how one pilot protected Ukraine's infrastructure amidst a record-breaking Russian missile attack. Learn how this feat shocked even US military officials and redefined the F-16's role in combat,